Hey there. So, I uploaded a video yesterday breaking down and looking at the function of a Glock 19. Unfortunately for you, I had the shutter speed on the camera set to manual, and I obviously did not set that correctly. So, right now, I've got it set to automatic, and I'm going to take another crack at the same thing again. So, same disclaimer from last video if you caught it. I am not English. I do not speak with this accent primarily, and I very rarely use it, just for fun. So, it's going to be bad. There's going to be mistakes. Please forgive me. But, if you'll bear with me with the noise of opening up this case, I am going to pull out our beautiful little friend, Glockita. Here she is. Isn't that nice? Yeah, so this is a Generation 5 Glock 19. You can see it right there. On the tip of it, I've got what's called a compensator. And a compensator works by directing in a movie. When you see a gun go off, you see a big flash at the end, right? So that flash is energy that's not being used. So what you can do is put one of these little guys on it, and you can see that there are cuts in the front of it, right? You see my face through it. Now those cuts angle it so that blast coming out the muzzle is actually directed backwards. So if the gun is recoiling this way, those gases are pulling the gun back that way. So it decreases recoil. It makes it easier to fire multiple shots accurately. So, I have a Blue Yeti microphone. I think I set up the binaural audio correctly, but I'm not sure. I might not have. This has been a series of mistakes so far, but we're learning as we go. So I'm going to do pretty much the same thing I did in the video yesterday, which is taking apart this Glock 19, showing you generally how it works, why it works. The Glock, along with the majority of modern handguns, use a locking system developed by a man named John Moses Browning, in, I think, like 1907 or something like that. It was a long time ago. And I'll explain to you what that action is and why that was invented, why it was needed. So let's get started, shall we? So, for starters, what I mentioned in yesterday's video was that when, a gun fires a bullet using a cartridge, and that cartridge contains gunpowder, and that gunpowder is ignited by a primer, which is a impact-sensitive explosive, and as soon as it ignites the gunpowder, the powder is rapidly transforming into a gas, or changing state into a gas, and expanding like crazy, very, very quickly. You need to control that expansion so that you can move a bullet down a barrel towards a target. That's the general concept. Now, pressure inside any kind of cylinder or closed space is going to exert, pressure. It's going to exert force in all sides simultaneously, okay? So what you need to do when engineering a firearm is make sure that the path of least resistance for the gas to escape is pushing that bullet down the barrel. Now, there are multiple ways that have been invented to make sure everything stays closed and makes it so the path of least resistance is moving the bullet. One of them is called standard blowback, and with a blowback firearm, you would have a very heavy slide, which is this bit up top, and you'd have a very heavy spring, recoil spring. And what that would do is delay the opening of the firearm just enough so that, again, path of least resistance for the explosion is pushing the bullet, and not blowing up in your face. So that's great. Now, what if you don't want to have a gun that's super heavy with a massive recoil spring that's hard to actually cock the gun? Well, that's where John Moses Browning comes in. And the action he designed is called the tilting barrel locking design, I think, something along those lines. And so to get started showing you that, well, first let's make sure the gun is safe. So I'm going to remove the magazine. You see right there, that is a follower which actually feeds the ammunition. And if you can see that, it means there's no bullets. And then I will move it back. Okay, move the slide back. And you can take a peek in there and you can see that there is no ammunition in this firearm. Now, when I push on the barrel, okay, what happens is this bit here, which is actually connected to the barrel, dips down. Not sure how well that shows up on camera. There it is. Yeah, you can see that dipping down every time I push. So the edge of this bit here pushes up against or locks against the slide, which is this big metal hunk on top. Okay. And so when the weapon is fired, the expanding gases push everything back, okay? And it all gets pushed in by everything. I mean, the barrel, the slide, the recoil spring, the whole thing gets pushed back. As soon as that dips down, okay, the whole slide is free to move back, all right? That has delayed the expansion of gases long enough so that the bullet has left the barrel at that point, and the chamber pressure is so reduced that the opening of this slide isn't going to throw hot gas in the face of the shooter, which is good because we don't want to burn our faces off. As fun as it sounds, it's probably not that great. So I'm going to put this back in. That was a bit loud. I'm sorry about that. With Browning guns, or not all Browning guns, but with a lot of them, when you are out of ammunition, okay, the slide of the gun locks back, and that is an indication to you, the shooter, that, oh, I'm out of ammo, better grab another mag, take it, slide it in, and then you would depress this right there. It's on both sides, actually. Glocks are beautifully ambidextrous. So I'll demonstrate that working. So here we are. I'm going to open the slide past that point, and it just slides back. Okay, now I'm going to do it with this magazine. Okay, and you're going to see that little tab is going to push up and it's going to hold everything in place. There we go. Yeah, so I can drop the mag out, take a new one, feed it back in, and then let everything back. And there we are. That's perfect. Let me silence my phone. I'm not re-recording all of this. Fuck that. Okay, so let's break this thing down, shall we? First things first, remove the magazine, okay? Second thing is to move the slide back a little way, just a bit, and then there's these two tabs, one tab on this side and one tab on this side, and you want to pull both of them down, alright? Let everything slide forward. I don't know why I can't get this right. Alright. Pull both down. Let everything slide forward. And there we are. It's all apart. So this is the frame. It's a very relaxing piece of the gun. It's very quiet. It's made out of plastic. Okay? And I'm going to tap on it for you just a little bit, just to appreciate it. And it's good for scratching too. That was relaxing. I hope I don't wake you up right now by talking again, but let's take a look at the upper assembly, or the slide and barrel. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I've got a compensator on this handgun, and I've got to remove that, and that just screws on here. So I'll take it off for you right now. Take my time taking it off. There we go. Nice. Beautiful sound. Let's set that down. I was getting a bit carried away. So now, see this here? That is the recoil spring, and I'm going to remove that by simply pushing it up with my thumb, like this, and then, what do you know, it comes right out. Perfect. And then we've got this barrel in here, which is very expensive, by the way. I'm not sure why or how they get away with it, but this thing costs like almost $200. Maybe because it's like got John Wick style notches in it, but I don't think it's worth that much. It's crazy, and I can't believe I spent that money. But let's take this out. That's not a very relaxing sound, and I'm sorry, metal is not conducive to sleep. But this is the slide. Nice and stripped down. Beautiful. Okay, so to recap, we've got the slide right here. The barrel right here. The recoil spring right here. That's a good sound. I like that. I like that a lot. we've got our good old friend, the frame, which is just so loaded with great sounds. We've got a Vuse, because I'm addicted to nicotine. Excuse me for a moment. Ooh, that was relaxing. Am I about to lick your ears? I don't know. No, I'm not. Don't worry. You're good. And then we have, of course, the magazine. And the magazine has on the back of it what are called witness holes, and they allow you to, at a glance, see if you see the brass case of your ammunition on the back of it. You know, I have at least that amount of bullets. So if you look, it goes down to 15 at the bottom there. So 15 in the magazine, 1 in the pipe or in the chamber or the barrel. So that's 16 rounds in total. And they do sell aftermarket little plates that you can buy for the bottom of your magazine that just stick out a little bit, and they can add like +2 capacity, +3 even, I'm not sure, I don't have one. And because Glocks are I don't know, backwards compatible with themselves and very versatile, they work with other Glock models of the same caliber. So this is a Glock 19. It's a very small gun, or medium size. Glock also makes a Glock 17, which holds 17 rounds by default. So you could get some Glock 17 mags and slide those into your Glock 19 and have that increased capacity, which is nice. So let's put everything back together again, shall we? Okay, you know what, this time, instead of using the barrel with a compensator, I'm going to use the original factory barrel so you can see how this gun was intended to look. Alright, so here we go. We're going to feed the barrel in at an angle, okay, and then tilt it back into place. There we go. And there we are. Barrel is placed in place. And now recoil spring. Put that there. Using the thumb to push it down and in. Recoil spring is also in place. And now, here is our frame. Here is our slide. Put the two together. There we go. That's all together. Magazine goes in. There we go. There we are. Okay, that's a pretty gun. I know, it really is. But I think that about does it. I think that's all we need to do today. For those of you who saw the video yesterday, I'll leave it up to add context for those of you who did not. But thanks for watching it. I'm sorry for the quality. For those of you who are English, I'm sorry for the accent. I think it was better in yesterday's video. But thank you so much for watching this video. And I hope you have a good evening or afternoon. Maybe you're taking a break. But either way, it'd be great if you could subscribe. I've got more ideas for videos coming down the pipeline. So, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.